take a nap. I had a very, very, very eventful day today, so I'll wait for you guys to come in. I'll tell you guys about my day. We'll catch up a little bit, and then I'm going to take a nap, and then I'll be back later this afternoon. I've been up since like 4 a.m. I've been out in the sun. I got some sun and some rays today. I don't think I got too much. Well, I got a little bit of sun. You can see my little strap. I didn't get too much. I didn't want to get too much sun. It was my first time out in the sun in a really long time, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being able to get out of the house. I'm happy that I've been able to drive my car. I've had no issues. I mean, none with the car. She cranks. I mean, she has a little squeak, and I know exactly what it is. It's from a little bit of oil or grease getting on the serpentine belt. When it starts up, it makes a little squeal. So that'll burn off over time, and it'll crank up so nice. Hey, Harley. I hope you're doing well, honey. I hope you're doing well. I'm not really coming here with any kind of anything. I mean, we'll talk about some stuff in the emails, but I literally just got, well, I didn't just get back from my best friend's house. I've been back about, I don't know, maybe a half hour, 45 minutes. I had a great day. So after my lives this morning, I ended up packing up and going to my best friend's house. I think I arrived there at like 7 o'clock this morning or something like that, 7:30. She was just barely getting, oh, hey, Cheeky Chops, how are you doing? I got my car back, and it's running right. Yeah, it's running right. It didn't cost me another $3,600. But that was just because I think my poor mechanic, my personal mechanic, felt so bad out of me having to change out another high-pressure fuel pump. I mean, you know, God bless my mechanic. That's all I can say. It's God bless my mechanic. He's good. Hey, yeah, I just got back. Today was my first day out. I just got back. Oh, I got good news. So I found out today, because you know it's my BFF giving me, Delilah. And she says that Delilah is almost ready. She is ready. She just needs to go out and get her, because she wanted me to have the sibling of her dog. Because she's got a little dog, a little cute Chihuahua dog, and I thought it was a mixed breed Chihuahua, and she corrected me and said, no, there's nothing mixed with these dogs. It's just a long dog, I guess. But Reese's is pretty and cute and sweet, and every time I go there, and good gracious, I gotta get that little snout, because she just likes to stick her tongue in places that her tongue does not belong. I'm just saying. And it doesn't belong here, or in here. And those seem like her go-to places. I like it. So I'm just saying. She gets a little, she doesn't understand personal space. But every time she comes up to me, she just flops over. She just flops over on on me and like, pet me. A chiweenie. Yeah, no, but it is. It's just she's just thin, you know. She, like my neighbor's dog, when he got her spayed, she kind of plumped up. Now she's a little butterball, you know. Reese's is just a little cute thingy. Yeah. Haha, my min pin will stick their tongue in your ear. I know. Well, I laid next to her. She was just all sprawled. She looked so cute on the couch, and I'm like, oh, there's a spot I can, you know, like shimmy in. And as soon as I shimmy in, her head pokes up. And so I went to lay my head down. I can't remember how I laid it down. I went to lay my head down on her, and she popped her nose up. And so I moved my head just right, and she got me like right in the ear. And I'm like, no, okay? I know I'm gonna have to get used to the puppy kisses. Oh, I love puppy breath. Oh, that stinky puppy breath. Oh, I love me some puppy breath. So it looks like within the next week or two, I might be having her. But see, the thing is I've got, like, next week, we're trying to get out to Tennessee. The car's running fine. I need to get it out of the state of Florida. So my best friend may be saddled with a brand new puppy for the first week. She's like, let me figure out how I can time this. When are you leaving? And when are you coming back? She's like, maybe I'll hold the puppy. And I'm kind of giving her that raised eyebrow saying, you with a puppy, a new puppy, like you just went through a couple puppy phases and you weren't happy with it. But if anybody's going to do the puppy phase, my BFF got it covered. She's got it covered. So we'll see how it works out, but it looks like in the next 2 weeks we're gonna have a little itty bitty baby. We got a baby coming. So that's gonna be fun. But I had the best day ever. I got out of the house. I was at our house. I mean, shoot, I stayed there until after 1 o'clock today. I arrived like at 7:30, so I was there for almost 6 hours today. And the only reason why I left, and the only reason why I wasn't even going to come live. I had just got off the phone with her, and I told her, I said, I'm just too tired. I really need to just take a nap. And then I thought about it, what if I take a nap, and then when I get up, I'm going to be like, groggy-eyed. Then I got to get a cup of coffee and everything like that. And I figured, you guys, I wouldn't do anything, Sebastian, on this live. I'd just come to you guys and let you know. I had a great day. I went poolside. I didn't get in the pool, and it upset Laura's grandchildren, but I didn't get in the pool. It was too hot for me. So the way she's got, she's got this covered spot that comes out, and it doesn't quite make it to the pool, but it comes right up to the pool. So if you sit right on the steps, the sun's not beating right down on you, and you can put your feet in the pool. So you're cooling down, and you got your feet in the pool while you're still getting some of the rays from the sun without being directly in the sun. So that's what I did. I did go sit out in the sun for about a good solid 10 minutes, but I'm telling you, I was freaking sweating. That was not, like, I don't mind a little heat, but I've been cooped up in a house in 76 to 78 degree weather for 3 months. And I went out there, and I think I was laying out there at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was so freaking hot. I'm like, I'm like, yeah, I'm good, Laura. I'm good on this one. I'll move it on up here. And I had my towel there. I had my phone all under my towel, keeping it protected from the sun. That's what I do when I'm out at the beach. And I couldn't handle it. It was hot. It was hot today. It was hot, y'all. I can't stand heat. It makes me feel sick. Yeah. Well, that was the crazy thing, is that it was hot. We were out there in the heat. We were actually supposed to go eat lunch, and I ended up having to, I didn't eat lunch. I came back here, and I did a crock pot pork loin like a day or so ago. And so I'm eating on that. But we were going to be leaving, I think, around 2 or 2:30 to go to lunch, but I was so tired, I just couldn't. And now it's like 2:30. We would have been to lunch. But honestly, after I turn these off, I'm probably just going to hit the hay. I'm exhausted. I don't know if it's the heat or the sun or the fact that I'm more active than I've been. I don't know, but I got tuckered out. I was tuckered out. Did you see the press con? Yes, I did. I watched it, and I wanted to see who it was because, listen, I've been thinking there was two serial killers out there on Long Island. And so I wanted to hear about the ones that because I was wanting to see if it was either Peaches or Cherry. Because with Peaches and Cherry, they were dismembered, and they were, the Fire Island, they were put in different places. And I've never known a serial killer to go from an escalated process to a less escalated process, like just posing them, like we saw with the 4. And so hearing their names, and I remember I seen Taylor and, what was her name? Was it Jessica Taylor? I remember Taylor. I've still got it up here, I'm sure. And I remember, because I did stories on the other 2 women that I thought that were out there on Gilgo. And I don't remember seeing either one of those faces, though. That's the crazy part about it. So let me just read to you guys everything that we know about Rex Herman, why we got you guys here. And then this is pretty interesting because they released some critical information we didn't know. They released that they have like this instruction type manual on his computer that they found on one of the hard drives that they found. And I read the whole thing, and basically it was talking about all the things he needed to do to get away with all of this, to get away with it. It's a little insane to me. Okay, honestly, it's a little insane for me that he had this, but you know what? This is what makes these people so wildly successful, right? They're unknown to people. They live normal lives. They used children and wives and stuff as a facade to make you trust them, to garner their trust because they have families and children. And this is typical. What you do typically see in these, from behind the scenes, from what we're learning, is that these people are a little more volatile. So they lose their cool. They go from 0 to 60 like that. That's one of the behaviors. But again, most of the people out here in the public don't see that because it's done behind closed doors. Because they know how to keep the facade in the public, but they can't do it 24/7 at home. So anyways, there's 2 more people that were Castilla, Jessica Taylor and Sandra Castilla. That's it. And so they were from 1993 and 2003, 10 years apart. And so listen to this. So I was kind of, my BFF is not into, she watches normal TV like everybody else. So she's like a lot of our viewers, right? But she's not into true crime. So she, believe it or not, she is my best friend, and she probably doesn't watch me regularly. However, she always tells everybody about me because she's my best friend. So I don't know how much of her and her family that actually watch me, but either way, I digress. So I was talking to her about this case because of this breaking news. I was at her house when they were having the press conference, so I pretty much stopped everything because this is my stuff. And so we started listening to it. And so I was telling her about how I felt, this is the first time her and I had a discussion about it, quite frankly. And I remember telling her that I thought there was 2 serial killers that were working out there in that area. And she started saying, she's like, where's this? And, I was explaining to her the story. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people that don't know that wrecks exist, that don't realize that there were, these women, murdered and dumped out there along Gilgo Beach. There's a lot of people that just doesn't know or understand. So she's one of them. So I'm explaining it to her, and I said, I never heard of somebody going from a violent disposal to a less violent, or posing, like making it pretty, so to speak. And she said something I didn't think about, and it seemed so simple. And I don't know why I didn't think about it, but I did. And she had indicated, well, maybe he had more energy. Because when I told her the dates of them, she's like, oh, so this is like 10 or 15 years before these were done. And I'm like, actually, yeah. She's like, well, maybe he just didn't have didn't want to do it anymore. Maybe he's just, he's older. And I was like, I didn't even think about that. It seems plausible. Not that it's realistic. I'm not saying that, but it did seem plausible, and it seemed like such a simple. Oh, thank you, Linda Lou. It's nice to see you, my love. We know you've been part of the family for a while, so it's great to see you, love. So I just thought, it's kind of funny because, we do this all the time, and we always try to think outside of the box, and even no matter how hard we wrap our brain around something, it tickles me because there's some of the things that we look at and we so complicate. We don't, it's like we overcomplicate things. And when you talk to a normal person, it's like they simplify it. Well, maybe it's just an age thing, maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe it's just, because, we're talking, of course, naturally, we're talking about age. I'm looking at all her grandchildren. Shoot, one of her granddaughters, I remember her coming home. Like, I remember her literally coming home from the hospital. And it's driving me nuts that I'm old enough to even say that, And so we're talking about age, and our bodies aren't what they used to be. But I told her, I still feel like I'm 20, even though I always joke about how I think I'm older. But I think, naturally people are taking, and it started off with a bodybuilder. We have a 60-year-old bodybuilder that's here in Bradenton that's going to be competing for Ironman, maybe? I don't remember what it was, and that's what got us talking about the conversation. It's like, and I told her, I said, I kind of feel like I'm just now turning 30, like I feel like we're back in the day, like when she was being raised, they were being forced to, basically get married at 18 and start having a whole bunch of kids and being a family and stuff. And I think people are, allowing themselves to grow up and allowing themselves to have a little bit of a life before they lock themselves down. I think it's just a different dynamic. I think it's keeping people, younger early or later. I feel like, we as a society are living a little longer, because we're taking better care of our health. There's a lot more therapeutics and doctors, and people are living longer by preventative medicine and taking care of themselves. So I don't know, but anyways, let's get back to Rex, even though this is not really what it's about. This is breaking news. So Gilgo Beach suspect Rex Herman now is being charged with 2 additional homicides. Gilgo Beach murder suspect Rex Herman kept meticulously notes on his murders, including reminders for future murders, like hit harder, and to get more sleep, to have more playtime. These are some of the documents that are being revealed in these court filings, guys. Herman 60, and it makes me wonder, how did Asa not know? Did he write these things down? I mean, it's hard for me to believe that she had no idea of his sexual proclivities. It seems odd to me. But either way, they say Herman 60, who's accused of killing multiple women and leaving their remains scattered along Long Island Ocean Parkway, appeared in court Thursday and pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder charges for the 1993 death of Sandra Castilla and the 2003 killing of Jessica Taylor. He nodded along as Suffolk County prosecutors read along from the alleged planned documents recovered from the computer in his Massapequa Park home that they served as a blueprint for his twisted crimes and showed his obvious intention to unalive women. The married father of 2, who was first arrested last year in the murder of 4 young women known as the Gilgo 4, was linked to both Castilla and Taylor through DNA from male and female hairs found on the remains. Prosecutors said that is his fatal flaw, is that him and his wife did not live in a very clean environment. And had they lived, had they been like Olivia's mom, or like my mom, or like half the moms out there where they're ultra clean, then this evidence wouldn't have been able to, creep up. I think he would have been in a more, for better words, a sterile environment, if you will. But one of the things was, I said when we heard about this breaking, is that the commissioner had said that the house was cluttered. And I've heard that before. And when you hear law enforcement say cluttered, it's probably close to a hoarder's house. Okay? Not quite. But when they say cluttered in the way he used cluttered, I see a house that has a lot of papers, boxes, not well kept, things kind of everywhere. Not quite a hoarder where you only have one way in and one way out, but definitely not a clean environment that would be. I'm a slob. I'm a slob, but I'm not dirty, right? There's a difference. I'm a slob. I got crap. I mean, you look around here, I got papers here. I've got a little jump starter over there with some pills, like my vitamin pills, and my spritzer. I got bracelets, earrings. It's not a clean. It's not a clean surface on my dresser. It's got a little clutter on there. Now I could pick that clutter up in about 2 seconds, and it'll be a nice clean dresser. But still, I'm a slob. They didn't. What they described was not a slobby house. It sounded like it was a cluttered and dirty home. So I truly believe by the way that they chose to live their life, I think this should have been solved years ago, as many people know should have. Prosecutor case so far has mostly relied on evidence that showed him in the same area, or the same location as the burner phones used to contact some of the victims and taunt their family, as well as DNA found on several victims that were linked to him. But in March of this year, investigators discovered damning trove of planned documents. And these planned documents that Herman allegedly used to methodically blueprint his murders. The shocking evidence was found on a hard drive taken from Herman's basement during a search in the wake of the arrest in July 2023, prosecutors said. The task force believes that this is a planned document. This was a planning document that was used by Herman to plot out his killings and excruciating details, Suffolk County DA Ray Tierney said. His motivation, meticulous planning, and clear intent was obvious. And his intent was nothing short but to murder all of these victims. Herman's list included notes on potential or past dump sites. This will be interesting because these girls, we need to look at where these girls were located. Because remember I said that when he got caught, when these girls were found in 2010, my thoughts were that he was going to start changing his location. Everything that we know about serial killers is that they still have the need and the compulsion to hunt and kill. Okay? So we know that just because there's cops around, this is not going to stop them. So we have to find other dump sites. He may not dump them together anymore. He may start looking and looking for those dump sites, the DSs. And he may start throwing them there, or scattering them around versus keeping them all together. Either way it is, it sounds a little crazy. And we have to remember he has had property in Las Vegas, and he's had property in South Carolina. This is only the stuff that's happening in New York. We have to know that if he went to any other place, because it seems like the key is he does this thing when his wife and children are not home. So when they're out of town, either going overseas or going to visit family in other places, he takes that opportunity to use it to hunt women. Money that don't make happy, it's easy to have. Yeah. But see, the crazy thing is on its face, he doesn't bode for me with the architect mindset. I don't know, many people don't know, but I used to be in real estate. Long before I had my real estate license, I worked under a realtor. I didn't sell anything. I was an assistant. I handled everything from listing the property to the paperwork to closing, right? I also assisted in closings. And so everything, we've had a lot of engineers, we've had a lot of architects, we've had a lot of home builders and designers. And one of the things that was very notable, especially in higher price areas, is that every single one of my architects had their masterpiece as their first home. They built the home as their artistic masterpiece. And the one thing I found with Rex is that wasn't the case with him. As an architect, he wasn't living in his best masterpiece, which was really odd for me. He purchased his family home, which in itself is fairly telling that he had to hold on to his childhood that much. And that's the way I look at it. It makes me wonder his relationship with his mom. You know, it doesn't sound like his mom. His mom had to, there was something different in that household between him and his brother. His brother is equally weird. It seems like Rex Herman is the less weird of the two, from what I'm hearing. His parents were judges, so back in the 90s, very low profile. Could be 80s Rex, reminds me of this guy. He was, you know, the 80s. Well, you got to think that these serial killers, you know, their first, statistically, their first kill is about 29 and a half. This man's 60 years old. You know? It's 30 years. 30 years. That's a lot. You know? I mean, thank God he wasn't doing one a day. What a nightmare that would be. But to think that he actually went and sat down and really thought about everything he would need to carry this out. I don't know. That gives me a little bit of the EBGBs, if you ask me. It really does. It gives me kind of the EBGBs. The list titled Body Prep included notes of washing the insides of all cavities of his victim. It says of his deceased, and to remove these and this. So obviously he's not opposed to dismemberment. If that's, and it sounds like at least one of his victims were missing these and this. So that really does make me feel like there is a possibility that Peaches and Cherry could be his, because if he never had done that, it's hard for me, but these are dating back to the 90s. That was right before the other girl. What was her name? Let me go to the Gilgo bodies map. Okay, I see where Jessica Taylor is in conjunction with the rest of them. Costello. Got the distance on this one. Hold on one second. Okay. So here we go. This is going to be the best one I can show you. So here's the original 4 right here in that little cluster. And then you have the Asian man up a little further, which is right here. And then you have one of the first victim, or the 5th victim he was charged with. This right here is Castillo. And I don't know. So we have her. So she was on the island, but I don't know where Jessica Taylor, or Jessica Taylor's on here too. Hold on. Where is Jessica Taylor? I have to go back to this one. So Jessica Taylor is right here. You guys can see it. But the problem is I don't see Castillo on here, so she must have been at a different site altogether, I would presume, because she's not on this. We're still trying to find out about Valerie Mace. So we have Jessica Taylor. So it's Castillo. But they did find a skull. That might be Castillo. But definitely the Gilgo 4 were there. He might, I don't know, like even that Asian male, because I saw, you know, Castilla and Taylor, because they were of European and I think Spanish descent. Let me go back. They were not what we had accustomed to being Rex's type. So that gives me a little wondering about the Asian male. Remember, the Asian male, it's odd for that one because we don't know how the Asian male got there. We don't know why. You know, we have to assume he did look like, from what we heard, he was in women's clothing. So we have to think that he was and he is closer to the Gilgo 4 and Jessica Taylor. So it makes you wonder, is he responsible for the Asian male that was found out there? Because it seems like, you know, there was an area when he liked to use bondage, you know, I don't know what they call it, SM, whatever that stuff is. I don't know what the letters are or whatever. I don't care. But it seems like he was watching a lot of snuff films like that. And it looks like these two specifically, Castilla as well as Taylor, were in the same kind of condition and manner as some of those videos, those snuff videos that he was watching. So it you know, this is touchy. This is touchy. There is something I've been hearing on here. We have a Washington State University grad that disappeared. She was supposed to go to the airport with her parents and go overseas, and was there and went to the bathroom and had a distressed look on her face and left the airport. This is what they look like. I don't know where they are. If you have seen them, everybody is looking for them. Her parents are looking for her. His significant other, or his ex, the baby's mother, they were supposed to drop her off. They have not made it, so I just thought I'd throw that out there while I have you guys all here. We do need to find this family here. If you have any information, please reach out to your local law enforcement. And that's really it. I've got a lot of other stuff that we could be going over, but again, I'm exhausted. I've had an eventful day. I got a little bit of sun. Car is running perfect, and I'm just very, very, I feel like a sigh of relief. I feel good. But I do believe things happen for a reason, and if nothing more, this 3 months sitting at home provided me a lot of clarity. A lot of clarity for my channel, a lot of clarity for me, a lot of clarity for our future focus. And, you know, if nothing more, it did provide me clarity. And so I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful that we get to keep Black Beauty on the road for a little bit longer. But again, with the money that we spent, I would have much rather had new wheels, okay? So it is what it is, but I believe at the end of the day, the silver lining is in all of this is that I got clarity, and I'm very thankful for that. And I'm very thankful that we are moving the channel in the right direction. So anyways, guys, I had a great day. It's the best day so far in the last 3 months. I got some sun, got to energize my soul with my BFF, and now I'm utterly exhausted. So you guys are not going to see me for several hours because I'm exhausted, and I'm going to take a small little 1 hour nap, and then I'm going to read the rest of my emails and get caught up with all of you guys and all of the wonderful help you guys are contributing to the Sebastian Rogers case. So God bless you. We will see you soon.